Hey there, this is Kevin from MaximizingEcommerce.com. I help people grow e-commerce businesses that they can be proud of. In this particular video, I'm going to talk about how to have great customer service with your e-commerce business. So in case you're wondering, how would I know anything about customer service? Well, I've had an e-commerce business now for about 2.5 years. And prior to working in e-commerce, I've worked at Walt Disney World, and I've worked in the hotel business at some hotels that were pretty well known for their service. So I picked up a few things along the way that I've incorporated into my business. If you have any ideas other than what I discussed in this video, I would love to hear your thoughts down below. So also, if you like this video, please give us a like. So just to get into it, with customer service, the big thing I can't stress enough is give your customers a chance to get in contact with you. Because the bottom line is most people are going to give you a chance if something goes wrong, or if they're just not happy about something, to either give you a chance to fix it or a chance to, for lack of a better word, explain yourself. Now, you never want to get defensive if someone says, well, this is terrible, da 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 da. Just start with, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened. You don't even have to say, I'm sorry that we did that. You could just say, I'm sorry that that happened. And that will make people just come down right away. So even if it's in an email, they're going to say, well, okay, they're sorry. So they saw that you said that you were sorry. Well, how do they get in contact with you? So it's possible to message the seller. If they're going in Amazon, if you look in your orders as a customer, you probably will find where you can go and contact the seller. But you don't want to make that the only way people can get in contact with you. So you want to make sure that in your settings, you've put in a phone number and an email address. If you're using like a Hotmail or a Gmail, I would probably go ahead and get your own domain that includes your brand name in it or your store's name. I think it just sounds more professional to have that in the domain. And then you can have that forward to another email address. So that way you're not having to check, multiple email accounts. And then you can respond by going into whatever the correct email account is. And then as far as, you always want to have a phone number too. I've sold thousands of units of product, tens of thousands at this point. And I can tell you this, I've had maybe 3 or 4 calls from customers. It's pretty rare, but I think it just gives you an air of legitimacy. Now you may say, well, I don't want to give people my phone number. Fine. Get a Google Voice number and have it forward to your cell phone or your home phone or whatever, your office phone, whatever phone number that you want to kind of keep a little bit more sacred. There's ways of doing it. And Google Voice isn't the only one, but it's one I can think of that's free. So you might as well. Then what you want to do is you always want to go a little bit above and beyond. So if you're going to replace a product for someone and you've got other similar products, give them a similar product. Just give it to them. Now, you might be thinking, well, people might scam me or whatever the case is. That's true. People might scam you, and you're going to get scammed at some point. But a piece of advice that I got when I was at Disney early on in my career, I was a restaurant manager, and to kind of date myself here, we had alpha pagers, and that was one way that we communicated with each other at the different restaurants at the time. It was called the Disney MGM Studios. Now it's, I think, Disney's Hollywood Studios is the name of the theme park. But basically, we would let each other know that there's people out there scamming. Like, person that comes up and says, oh, I had, basically $100 worth of food or whatever, and someone threw my tray away. Well, where were you sitting? Which, cash register did you pay at? And all this stuff, we would get all excited about like, oh, there's these people going around. So we're like trying to figure out, like, they're going to come into my restaurant and try to scam, us. But I had a higher up, basically my boss's boss at the time, said to me, don't worry about those people. If someone comes to you with a problem, assume they're being honest. Because if even 10% of people that are coming to you with problems are scammers, which it's probably a smaller number than that, but let's just say it's 10%. Worry about the other 90%, because every time that someone has an issue, chances are they're actually going to have a better experience and a better, more positive way of looking at the company. So at the time it was Disney, so now it could be your e-commerce business, simply because of how you treated them. So you don't want to make people feel like it's the Inquisition to figure out, are they telling the truth or not? Just assume they are and move on, and you're going to do better. Now, you might say, but what if they're scamming me out of something? Well, oh well, would you rather they leave you a 1-star review? Because I'm going to tell you this, they're going to leave you better reviews if you fix their issue. And I've got a couple examples here with ones that I've fixed. So I fixed some problem. People understand problems happen. So if you can fix their problem, they're probably going to have a better opinion of you because you fixed the problem and you did it in a timely manner and you were polite and nice about it. That's really what it comes down to. So I had a seller feedback here recently. There was product had a manufacturing issue. Customer service was great and resolved problem with a new shipment and surprise gift for the inconvenience. Will buy from them again. Yes. I mean, they literally put the word yes at the end of their review. So I thought that was kind of fun. Now you might say, well, I'm not that worried about seller feedback. I still think you should always be concerned about seller feedback. Some people might say, well, you can just have Amazon remove it. And in most cases, they will remove seller feedbacks. But what about product feedback? So if you give customers the opportunity to get back in touch with you and you can fix their problem, you might save yourself a 1-star review that might turn into a 5-star review. So here's an example of one. The product I got was adorable, versatile, and high quality, but the best thing is their customer service. They were able to resolve an issue I had promptly and were very nice to speak to on the phone. This is one of the few I've had on the phone. They even threw in some extra product for my trouble. Excuse me. Going above and beyond. I'm completely satisfied with this company. Oops, sorry about that. I'm completely satisfied with this company, and both in the quality of work and their customer care. So if what that product was that person bought, if they're talking about that to a friend, do you think they're going to be more or less likely to refer my brand than they would be if I didn't take good care of them? And another thing I think you can do to make sure that customers have a chance to get in touch with you is to have some sort of email that goes out to them. I know people have different opinions on the emails. I use Efficient Era to give out emails. I am an affiliate for them, but I use them. I think pretty highly of their product. And basically what I do is I send out 2 emails, one asking for a review about 10 days after they would have received the product. But before then, I send one out where I don't ask for anything other than hit reply if you're not 100% satisfied. And most of the time in that first email, where I ask if people have any feedback or if they weren't 100% satisfied, I get people just responding with everything was great. That's wonderful. But sometimes people will say, hey, I had a problem. Well, let's see what we can do to fix it. And that's when you start getting more 5 stars, is if you're able to fix their problem. Because some of those would have been 1-star reviews that turn around and I was able to make them into 5-star reviews. So hopefully all that helped. And again, if you have any advice to others on what works for you, or even if you've had a chance to have great customer service, whether in person at a restaurant or a store, or just from an e-commerce vendor, I'd love to hear your feedback down below. So again, hopefully you found this video helpful, and if you did, please share it with a friend. And I thank you so much for making it all the way here to the end. Take care and have a wonderful day.